have a chance and an opportunity to make history of our own here in the state of California by rejecting that cynicism, rejecting that fear, by rejecting that kind of divisiveness. California, we are better than that. We have the opportunity by voting no on this recall. We're better than that. We're better.
Tomorrow at Macy's, get an extra 20% off denim, dresses, and layers that'll take you into fall.
Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Here's a complete breakdown of everything Joe Biden just required. Number one, he is requiring every business with 100 employees or more to require that their workers are vaccinated or have a negative COVID test once per week. He says that companies like United, Fox News, Disney, United Airlines, that is,
better than that. Now, you know what happens if we don't vote no on this recall, don't you? I mean, this isn't even close. On the other side of this recall, if we're not successful in rejecting this recall, Larry Elder is going to be sworn in as your next governor. I want to sound like Obama, say, don't boo, vote.
that is, have already required this, but at this point it's time for a blanket mandate to essentially say that businesses should and will require COVID vaccines if they have 100 or more employees, or a negative test per week. Now, I believe that there are going to be some medical exemptions, but what those are going to be are unclear at this point. Joe Biden does also mention that any federal worker will not have the option to just test. Any federal worker or federal contractor who works for the federal government will be required to be vaccinated.
But Larry Elder's running away with it, guys. It's just a matter of weeks. The only thing stopping that from happening is each and every one of you. In a matter of weeks, Larry Elder can be sworn as the next governor. I want you to know a little bit about him. And the vice president, I know she's here. I want her to know a little bit more about him. And she knows plenty about him. You'll hear that in a moment. But I want folks to understand really what the stakes are. Here we are in a moment in our history. Not only are we debating democracy, where you have these guys like Tucker Carlson going over Hungary, celebrating autocrats. You have these news magazines, Newsmax or One American, all these networks, this echo chamber in this country, trying to dismantle what we hold dear. But we're also at a time in this country where we, on two coasts in America, you have folks that drown in their cars on the East Coast, and you have folks quite literally trying to get in their car to escape wildfires here on the West Coast. The extreme weather we're experiencing, the likes of which we've never experienced in our lifetime. And we've got someone by the name of Larry Elder that believes climate change is a myth, believes it's a crock, and believes the answer to climate change is increasing offshore oil drilling.
Joe Biden says if you want to work with us, you have to get vaccinated. Joe Biden says that the Department of Labor will also be requiring that businesses provide paid time off to individuals so that they can get vaccinated or they can bring their loved one to get vaccinated. Joe Biden is expecting this will affect 80 to 100 million Americans, requiring them or encouraging them in the cases of, for example, with businesses where you could just test per week, to get vaccinated. That's because it's kind of annoying to get vaccinated once or to get tested once a week.
That's his solution. Someone that doesn't even believe in the Clean Air Act. That's Larry Elder. Someone that celebrates what just happened to women in Texas and is celebrating the prospect of overturning Roe v. Wade. And speaking of women, let's talk about Larry Elder's points of view. He doesn't believe there's a glass ceiling.
It doesn't feel good, it's a hassle, and so the thinking here is that a lot of folks will be motivated in the private sector to just get vaccinated. But again, Federal government workers and contractors for the federal government will be required to get vaccinated. Jen Psaki said, hey, well, what happens if somebody doesn't get vaccinated then? Well, she says they will be essentially sent through the human resources process where they will be counseled, disciplined, and ultimately if they don't get vaccinated, they'll be fired.
Tell that to Kamala Harris, who did shatter the glass ceiling for Vice President of the United States. Wasn't easy to do. Doesn't believe in pay equity laws. Believes that employers, listen to this, actually said this. He believes employers have the right to discriminate against employees, or at least women, by asking them about their reproductive future because, quote unquote, they're just protecting an investment.
They'll get terminated.
All the cash
if you
back
don't get
you
vaccinated.
earned at the end of your
Now,
first
Joe
year.
Biden did go on to say that the next step will be making sure that boosters can be provided for free starting as early as September 20th. We did hear Moderna earlier today mention they plan to have their COVID boosters incorporated
Larry, the
into
desperation
flu
of your
vaccine,
opposition must
or
be
an option
encouraging
for
to you
that in
because
the
they only
future.
really start throwing the kitchen
Next
sink
step
at
is
people when
Joe Biden plans to make sure that schools and federal-related schools require vaccinations for teachers. Those are going to be Department of Defense schools and Bureau of Indian Affairs operated schools. And Joe Biden is asking that states adopt the same requirements that all school employees get vaccinated. Joe Biden well, the page you're looking for looks a lot like this right here. Actually, this is the page that you'll be redirected to if you go to Metcalf.